So the idea is, let's preview this. And so on this module, I have we have this header, and imagine that I had a thing where I wanted this to be one color and this to be like another color to kind of like break it up, or like to be highlighted or have some different style. Okay. I can't do that with just this because this text doesn't tell me anything about the thing. So I would say the bad way to do it is to allow like HTML to go right in here. And this is how a lot of systems would do this because it's super easy. So I could do that. And I could say, I have to do, like style equals, I don't even remember. So, color colon red, something like that. So I'll save that, see how that comes out. So that is one way you could do it. Right now, this won't work properly because this field is not allowing me to put in HTML, okay? And honestly, this is now code in my content. And so it's just not a great way of doing it. It's super flexible, but I don't like it. So what I recommend to folks, and what I recommended yesterday, was splitting this into two fields. So let's open up the model. And we're just going to add another field onto here we'll call it title 2. All right. And and I'm not going to make it required. And by default, there's nothing in there. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. So now we've got title 2. So imagine I wanted to do this now from long breaks to, and I put this one in there to long adventures. Okay. Now I haven't put any code in my content, right? And I haven't really done too much with it. Okay. All right. So, oh, for Pete's sake, now yeah. Okay. So I'll just save that. Now what I want to do is look at in the settings what that actual will look like. And this is something that you probably like almost never look at, but let's look at what the developer will see on their end for when they're working with this. Okay. I might have this code open actually. Give me a second. I'll see if I can run this as code, and then we'll see what this looks like because I want to show you from the developer point of view. Oh my goodness, I opened the wrong thing. Okay, so if I run this now, okay, so I'll run this here. So this is running locally. So now I can actually use some of the stuff that's there. Okay, so we've got, look at my title now just says from short breaks, but there's going to be another field in here that I want to use. So I'm going to go into the code and I'm going to my text block with image. So when I talk about, like, we talk about components, each component is a TSX file in this project, right? And so that component gets the module. Let's look at what the module looks like in terms of code. So this is the module, and we're just going to output this to my like developer console in my browser. Okay. And if you're a developer, you've seen this, or a web developer, you've seen this 1,000 times, but if you're not, it looks new. So this is what our content looks like. And so for each field on the content item, we have a property on here. And you can see I've got content equals AAA. That's this module. Hang on, let's get to the top one. Because this module is repeated 3 times on here, right? So I don't want the AAA, I want the from short breaks. So here we go. The title field says from short breaks, and I have this field title 2 long adventures. So what I've done is I've basically split this up into 2 fields for my developer now so that they can do what they need to do. Okay, so let's take that and let's just play with it a little bit. Let's find where the title is being output. And here it is. Here's my title that's in the text of this link. So what I need to do now, oh, this link is going to get, it's right in here. Okay. So I've got this, let's just do span. So now the code is 100%, hang on. That's not what I wanted to do. I just changed something I didn't mean to change. Apologize. Title. There it is. There's my fields.title right there. Okay. So I've got this H2 class and it's the text is that color. But now I want to do is I'll make the developer put this extra code in to my fields.title2. Okay. And I want to make this a different color. So let's make this is using what's called Tailwind. So I'm going to go text, let's use text red 500. Boom. Now my content is still just content, but what I've done is I've broken this out into two different things. Or I could do something that's probably a little bit more subtle. Let's just do, BG gray 300, something like that. And now I've got this. So there's lots of different ways I could style that text. And I've put now the onus is on the developer to kind of take care of that content and do properly with it. But if I had coded this with the span tag in this title and allowed that to happen, now if we're changing the design of the site and say, you know what, we're not using red anymore, we're using this nice slate gray color, I have to go change all my content, which is super not fun. And in those situations, then you get into a case where it's like, we need a new CMS because that other CMS made us change all our content because it was bad. So this is where when we talk about content architecture, this is what this changing the content model and having a strategy for changing that content model a certain way. That's why we would try to have more, like I say, more fields of different types to help the editor do the right thing. From a marketer point of view, you want more control, right? I want to be able to do more things and make more decisions without getting a developer involved, because like, how often does a developer work on the Agility website? Not that often. It's like, doesn't seem like it's enough of a priority, right? I feel your pain. So one of the things that we could do, there's a bunch of different ways to do that. We could actually allow this to be rendered as HTML. So in the code, I could take this title field. Let's just go do that. And I'm going to put it in a span. And I'm going to say, I can't remember what the unsafe, what is it? No, I think it's got to be a div, and it's going to be HTML, dangerously set HTML equals, and it's got to be like this. Underscore HTML equals that. So this is the, like, how do you allow HTML inside there? I think I can do it with a span. Okay, so this should still work now. And so now I'm going to go back and do this. And we'll go back to that idea. So it's totally possible. And this is why in our site, because we know that you're smart and you know what you're doing, that we allow this to happen, okay? Oops, I put it in the wrong spot. My goodness. Okay. So now if I refresh this, right? So now the content person has control to do all kinds of stuff. So awesome, right? Now the person who knows HTML can do stuff. The problem is, it's like, you know what? We're not sure about the red anymore. So now what you end up doing is saying, oh crap. So we do this and do like a find and replace, and like we can find it, but it's 0% fun to go change all the red everywhere. They came up with the same kind of, and they went through the same thing because they had a designer who was also their content person, who was super productive and got tons of things done, but he left HTML throughout their entire site. So they were not happy with that because, well, they fired him or he quit or something happened and that person's gone. And that it made their life hell for a while because he had done so much of the site and they wanted to do a new design. So what they came up with was an idea for themes in the site where they could have content that was themed and to give their creative people control over that. So what they did is they created a content model, called it a theme, and they set up a whole bunch of variables on that theme. So it could have been like primary color. And I think what they did is they actually made it pretty wide open. They just made them text fields like that. And I'm just going to put one on there. And oh, they gave the theme a name too. Let's give it a title. All right, save that. We're going to go here. We're going to add a list, and we're going to make this a single item. We only want one theme at a time. Actually, no, they had multiple themes. I'm sorry. Called it themes because they actually use them for like ads and stuff too, for like certain chunks of the site. They actually got, of course, these things always get super complex. Path. So this is the path of the site for the theme. And it was not required. I don't remember. Save. Okay, cool. So let's go into our themes now. Let's create a theme. We're going to call this, you know, cool blue, whatever. And this is for the like members section of the site, something like that. For everything under members, this would work. And the primary color is going to be like that.